Hey everyone, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and that you were able to relax a little bit. I'm going to walk you through what we're doing in week 13 right now, and just looking at the overview of the week, you can see that we are continuing to work on editor's introduction. You're going to be doing a revision plan. You're going to submit a draft of your reader's guide, and you're going to get started on one of the bonus features of the Extended Inquiry Project. And then we'll be doing some peer response on all those sections on Thursday. Okay, and we do not have a studio this week. So again, you can access all this from the overview there. And I'm going to start with the revision plan that you're going to be doing on your editor's introduction. So you should have received some feedback from your writing team members on your editor's introduction that you posted last week. So what you need to do now is look over that feedback and come up with a plan for what you're going to do going forward. So these are things that you can enact to make your draft better for what you'll put into the actual reader's guide draft. Okay, so remember that this editor's introduction is the main piece of your writing that you are doing on your research this semester. And so revise it so that what your group members see in your reader's guide is going to be different than what they saw last week. So I want to hear, what are you planning to do to make it better? Take those suggestions into account. And even, if you saw some group members that had what you thought were really good drafts, well, how might you imitate what they're doing in some way as well? Okay. And then we are going to submit an actual reader's guide draft this week. So this is going to be all of the sections of the reader's guide in one document. Okay, so I have instructions here. I want you to start a new document. I don't want you to work off of your editor's introduction document. You can take what you have from that and copy and paste it into your new reader's guide Google Doc. So again, it's easiest if you begin the draft in your groups and your writing team's Google folder. I'm having some issues where people are not having their drafts in the folder. I'm having to ask them to move them there. I don't know if people are forgetting or what, but it's easiest if you just start it there. Then you know it's there and that your group members can see it. So go ahead and title it with your first name, Reader's Guide, so that your group will easily see that that is your Reader's Guide document. And you're also going to, when you're done, submit the URL to me so that I can click on that and see it. So the draft of your reader's guide needs to have all of the components of the reader's guide assignment. So you have seen this assignment before. I strongly suggest, and this is true in any college course, you're not going to really get an assignment by reading it through one time. I suggest you read this through again and then probably again and watch the video again. So it's really important that to really comprehend an assignment, you have read it several times. Okay, so please, before you get started, read through the entire Reader's Guide assignment again at least once. Watch the video walkthrough. Okay. And look at the sample reader's guides. So what you're going to need to do in this reader's guide document, you need a title for your reader's guide, which will appear on the cover page. And so the title for the reader's guide, everyone has to have reader's guide somewhere in that title. And I have two examples right there so that your reader knows that this is a document that's in the genre of a reader's guide. And as you're working on this, just think of, if you're worried about setting it up and how to make it look, think about the fact that you are putting together an ebook, okay? And that's what it should look like. Someone should be able to scroll through it in the same way that they do an ebook, in the same way that you did with that ebook, Bad Ideas About Writing. So you'll have a cover page with your title. You'll also have a table of contents. So you already have practice setting up the table of contents from doing your research log. So you're doing the same thing. You're going to insert and table of contents. And once you have all these sections in place, go back and hit refresh and they should all appear there. Okay, you are having an acknowledgement section. And what this does is it acknowledges, recognizes that people don't do research alone, that there are various people or institutions or services that have helped them along the way. And so you're basically giving credit to that, okay? Then you have your editor's introduction. And so you can copy and paste what you have from that document into here. You could rewrite it directly into here. That's up to you. I suggest making revisions since the last time your group saw it. And you can see that I'm telling you what to designate each section so that it will show up in your table of contents. Okay. So as you know, there are those 3 sections to the editor's introduction. Then your collection of sources. So the collection of sources you have done, collection of sources and the glossary of key terms, you have done the foundation work for this. So you have done basically all of the writing for it. What you're doing with these 2 sections is moving the sources into the order that you want them to and that you described in your editor's introduction. And you are doing revisions that you need to do. So fixing up any summaries, fixing up any bibliographic entries that are not in the correct citation style, making sure that there are correct hyperlinks. But for the collection of sources, you want to have those categories clearly marked. I suggest making them heading 2s, but you don't have to do that. And then having this other information for each source. You already have this in your research logs. Just go in there, get it, and put it on here and fix it up so that it looks clean and organized, and the summaries are the way that they should be. For the glossary of key terms, many of you may want to cut a lot of terms that you included in your research logs, and I suggest being very selective. So key terms, usually people have between 5 and 8 total. So I suggest thinking about what are the ones that are absolutely essential to your topic for people to understand the articles, sources that you've got in there, and including those. Then you have a brief bio or about the editor, okay? All right, so let's go back here. Why that's not, okay. All right, so let's go on to the next thing that you're doing on Tuesday, which is you're beginning one of the bonus features, which will be at the end of your reader's guide document. But right now we're just going to work with it in the Google Drawing. So this assignment is very similar to what you did at the beginning of the semester when you did your guiding question infographic. This mirrors that assignment in that you are also proposing a question, except this question is, what if you had another semester to continue looking into your topic? So what would you focus on knowing what you know now about your topic going forward? So remember, we said that the project begins with a question and ends with a better question. So how, knowing that you know so much more about your topic now, what would your question be if you had another semester to continue researching it? And so what you're doing is you're not going out and researching that question. You're not going to do any further research. You're looking back on what you already did and looking for, what led you to that question. What are the sources, quotes, things that stood out to you the most in your research that led you to this new question? Okay, so remember, just like with the guiding question, you're looking back over what you've done and showing your reader how you ended up at that new question. So you're using Google Drawings again. You want to include your original guiding question and your new question for what projected inquiry. So projecting into the future, if you had another semester, what you would do. Okay. Let me go back here. And that's what you're doing for Tuesday. And then on Thursday, you're going to give feedback on both of those drafts. Okay, so you're going to give feedback on the editor's projected inquiry Google Drawing. So you'll go into the Google Drawing and leave feedback either via email or post a comment on the actual Google Drawing. And then feedback to the Reader's Guide on the Google Doc using comments. Okay, I'm going to post some general comments here in later today that you can use to give some helpful feedback as well. Okay, so that's it for this week. We're really setting up this Reader's Guide draft, getting it all in place, and then we'll do some more. We'll finish up the final component of the bonus features next week and do some more peer review. Okay, so please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you all have a good week.